What's up, nerds? Welcome to Insufficient Technology. Nerds, how would you feel if tomorrow morning your digital media provider was to make a very big announcement? And that announcement would be that they were to become the very first digital media platform to offer smell-o-vision. That is a feature that allows you to smell what is going on in the programming. I think such an announcement might give you pause. As it so happens, smell-o-vision was once a very real thing. And when I say once, I literally mean once, because apparently once was enough. The technique was created by Hans Lob, and it made its once and only presentation back in 1960 for the motion picture presentation of Scent of a Mystery. Smell-o-vision was a system that would release odor during the projection of a film, so that the viewer could smell what was going on in the presentation. Could you imagine what that might be like if they brought this feature back for the premiere of American Pie? Actually, on second thought, no, maybe we shouldn't try to imagine that. So here are my top 5 reasons to why I think smell-o-vision is insufficient technology, at least back in the 1960s. Number 1, lack of control over scent. This technology had a lot of issues with particular scents traveling to all members of the audience in the theater, and a lot of factors would hinder the aroma effects. Sometimes the strength of the aroma was either too weak or too strong, causing it to linger for longer periods or shorter periods than was originally intended. Because of this, many of the fragrance and aromas combined together, creating a very different type of scent altogether. Number 2, no ventilation. The sad, unfortunate thing about this technology is that it was assumed that the ventilation inside the theaters themselves will be sufficient enough to diminish the odors of the fragrances. Obviously, that was not the case at all. If theater audience members were eating highly scented foods or wearing perfumes and colognes that had equally high scents, those aromas would mask the aromas coming from the smell-o-vision technology. Clearly, it needed its own independent ventilation system so that it could cancel out external smells and smells that came from the smell-o-vision that had served their purpose. Reason number 3, some experienced nausea. I guess some of the scents were just too much for some people to handle, and it did actually make some people feel sick to their stomachs. Just imagine walking into a department store and there's like 10 different sales assistants spraying perfume in your face. I think you would feel pretty nauseous, because that would make me feel sick to my stomach. I imagine that's what smell-o-vision is probably like. That is not exactly something you want to experience when going to see a movie. Number 4, not cost-effective for theaters. Not only was the cost of running the smell-o-vision machine sky high, but in any theater in which occupied a smell-o-vision machine, it was a requirement for some very serious and elaborate modifications to be performed in the theater space. It would also require theater employees to be trained how to properly combine the different chemicals in order to produce just the right fragrance for just the right time in certain motion pictures. I guess it's probably about the same reason why only certain theaters have IMAX. But then again, you don't need to mix chemicals in order to have an IMAX presentation. Number 5, not many movies need a scent. In the case of Scent of a Mystery, there were some very specific plots that required the audience to smell what was going on screen. However, this doesn't exactly transcend to many other movies, especially movies of today. For the most part, real 3D and IMAX can be applied very, very well and very successfully to a lot of movies. You can't exactly say the same for smell-o-vision. Now, for example, let's take Star Wars. Looks really good in real 3D, even better in IMAX. And I know this from personal experience because I did happen to see Episode 7 in IMAX. It looked incredible. Now, if we were to add a smell-o-vision feature to Star Wars, that wouldn't transcend very well at all, because let's face it, nobody needs to know what Chewbacca smells like. Trust me, we really don't. In my opinion, I don't think smell-o-vision is a really good means to reeling an audience in order to convince them to go see a movie. If a production is good, it shouldn't need cheap gimmicks like smell-o-vision and having puffs of aroma spraying out of the walls in order to keep an audience attentive. So there you have it, nerds, my 5 reasons to why I think smell-o-vision is insufficient technology. Now I should mention, there has been talk and rumors that this techno fad will get a revival with a lot of the kinks worked out. To me, I still don't think it's gonna kick off. Only time will tell, I guess, but I just don't see it working. As I said before, there's a lot of movies that it just would not work for it. But that's just my opinion. I would like to know your opinion. Please type a comment down below in the comments area or check out the video response link down below. It would lead you to a Twitter feed and you can copy and paste your video responses there.